It's round 3 of the Daytona DMAX Championships. We're on to our Inter Enduro. It's one of the closest classes in the championships this year. And once again on pole position for, I reckon, the second time in a row after the snowy PFI. It's the sunny Rye House day. Owen Gentleman, pole position, how's that?
Warmer, yeah, it's good. Not a bad lap. I think it was probably the one I cut the corner in, but obviously no one noticed, so that's all good.
A win last time out from pole position. Can you do it again, make it 2 in a row?
I doubt it, to be honest with you, but we'll give it a go. Who knows, it's going to be a fun race, whatever happens. I think, is it top 6 coming by attempt, so it's going to be a good race, no doubt. We'll see what happens.
We've just seen a fantastic lights race with some really close battling. I mean, you talk about the top 6. You've got Bobby alongside you on the front row, Jordan Taylor in there as well, Chris Alcock. They're all big names. You're all fighting them for the championship. How do you reckon the rest of this championship's going to go, starting here today at Rye House?
No idea. Do you?
No idea either. That's why I'm asking you.
I've literally got no idea. I'm just here to have fun, to be honest. So as long as we enjoy it, that's the main thing.
Well, good luck, Owen. Hope we see you at the end of the day and back on the podium. Have a good one.
Cheers.
And I'm here with 5th place on the start line, Ed White. Ed, will you wildly speculate about the future of the championship? Just guess.
I'm in to win. Hey!
But you were running as high as 2nd and 3rd throughout that qualification, ended up 5th. How did you find it out there?
Yeah, good. I think it's a 10th between the top 5, so mega close. Yeah, just got to be consistent.
You're on the good side of the grid, if you like. You're looking to take some people up the inside?
Yeah. Well, I was 4th for most of the session and 5th on that last lap. I think it's sort of benefited me on the inside, so yeah, hopefully I'll make up a few places.
It's an hour in the heat. How aggressive can you be at the start?
Mega aggressive. It's an hour sprint.
It's an hour sprint. Let's go for it.
Tom Montauk, hello. Hello, mate. Welcome to Daytona DMAX. Not a bad first qualifying, 18th on the grid. What brings you here to Rye House?
So I've come here via BUKC and had a great time there. But I think I'm ready for a new challenge, and an hour-long race in the sun is going to be quite a challenge. I'm fairly happy with 18th, all things considered, first time out. But I'll be hoping to pick my way through the field, obviously, from there.
Good stuff. Obviously, you've had experience here with the Birmingham University Massive in the past. The races around here have always been very tough in the past. But as you say, you're going from 25 minutes to an hour. What do you think is going to be the key aspect of the race today to move forward from the midfield?
Just got to pace myself, really. I've tried to work on my fitness a little bit in preparation for this, but nothing prepares you for the real thing. So I'll just see how it goes, push as hard as I can, but be careful over an hour.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck. Hashtag not biased. Have a good one, mate, and we'll see you later on. Richard, looking forward to this one. Inters is always good. Good that they've got some good weather as well, because they had a bit of a shocker last time out in the snow at PFI. I reckon this is going to be a good one. Yeah,
I think round 3 of the DMAX Daytona Inters is going to be something that we're going to remember as the championship goes forward, because you're going to have to look a long way down that list on the qualifying before you find someone who can't get a podium today.
Absolutely. This is a really, really tight grid going into this. I'd say the top 12, top 13 all have a chance of a podium in this one. Round 3, Daytona DMAX Inter Enduro coming right up. It's the 3rd round of the Daytona DMAX Championships, and it's now for our Inter Enduros to entertain us. Out on track then for this grid then. Owen Gentleman starts from pole position with Bobby Trundley alongside him on the front row. Jordan Taylor and Chris Alcock form up row 2, and then it's Ed White and Sam Bennett on row 3. Gus Silviera is a surprise up there on row 4. Alongside him on that 4th row is Anthony Kirk. Then it's Chris Hackworth with work to do alongside Joe Ellis starting on row 5. Mike Coppin and Andy Spencer will be looking to pump through from the 6th row of the grid. Then it's Curtis Mitchell and James Perry on row 7. Dean Walker and Simon Ross start on row 8. Lee Carey and Tom Montauk on his DMAX debut start on row 9. Martin Bork and Ross Blackwood start from row 10. And then it's Philip Senior and Seb Cook on row 11. Leo Stolyarov and Andy Stobart start on row 12. Andy Glover and James Wattis are on row 13. Stuart Shearman and James Browning on row 14. John Donnelly and Tony LaCastro on row 15. And then Nigel Foote on row 16. It's a 31 kart grid.
Okay, it's the start of the Daytona DMAX round 3 Enduros. They're coming up to the start-finish line now, Andrew. This is the bit where we get excited. The top 12 or 13 are really, really close. They're approaching the start-finish line now.
And we've got green. Owen Genman leads them away into Stadium for the first time. Round the long right-hander. Genman has retained the lead, but up into second place, it looks like Jordan Taylor has nipped through past Bobby Trundley. Into hairpin 1 for the first time. Are they all going to get through? There's a bit of bumping and barging in the outskirts of the top 10.
I didn't think Jordan Taylor was going to be able to make the exit there. I thought he was going to clatter the exit barrier, as someone further down the field has, but he did make it back in on time.
Owen Genman leading, winner last time out. Side by side were Bobby Trundley and Jordan Taylor as they head into Stadium for the first time, the second time rather. Still side by side, and Trundley all over the curb there, and he's going to be attacked here by the 32 of Chris Alcock. And look out for Ed White behind as well.
Yeah, but Trundley nearly got caught out there with on the inside. He was so busy worrying about the guy he'd made contact with on the outside that he nearly lost a place up on the inside. And the leader's having a little opportunity now to break away about a 6 or 7 kart length lead.
Leader's definitely being closed in now, and already there's a back marker not too far ahead. So this could be the first opportunity for Jordan Taylor and Bobby Trundley to try and wrestle the lead away from Owen Genman.
Yeah, and there's a second pack sort of emerging behind of 2, then a little bit of a gap. So those 4 being, let's see then, Chris Hackworth, Sam Bennett, Mike Coppin, Gus Silvera. And then there's a big gaggle still fighting for positions outside of the top 10. There's yellow flags, there's an incident at the first hairpin. 2 have spun off into the grass.
And that was drivers from quite high up through the field, so we'll check who that was as they fall through the order. Don't want to call who it was before time. But Genman leads. Taylor does a new fastest lap of the race of 42.820. Trundley's still there second. Looks like the 2 drivers in question were Gus Silveira and Curtis Mitchell.
Jordan Taylor makes a move up the inside, and he's pushed Genman nearly sideways there, and he's through, but that wasn't the cleanest move in the world.
Yeah, and Trundley's made it through into second place as well. There's a point of the finger.
Yeah, Genman's not happy, but Taylor's delighted.
Now, can Bobby Trundley, because that's another driver who, if given the opportunity to hit the front, once he hits the front, he gets away if drivers behind start scrapping, and these drivers cannot afford for that to happen. So Jordan Taylor leads at the start of lap 7. Bobby Trundley still there in second place. They're closing in on Stuart Sherman to put a lap on him, but this top 5 with the number 32 of Chris Alcock at the moment just playing the patient game. Oh, and Jordan Taylor was a little bit slow off hairpin 2. Stuart Sherman does a good job getting out of the way there.
And he's going to have to do it again, though, as the battle for 6th place with Chris Hackworth and Sam Bennett heats up. Chris Alcock takes 4th place from Ed White. He's gone up the inside through the stadium turn into turn 2 and made it stick.
Bobby Trundley looking very, very racy there in second place, getting just alongside, but losing out there to Jordan Taylor. At the moment, to me, Spanish, looks like Bobby Trundley's got that little bit more pace than Jordan Taylor.
Yes, and he didn't look happy as well.
And they're alongside momentarily through paddock corner. Owen Genman still there in 3rd. Chris Alcock 4th. Ed White now watching on in 5th place. And look at Chris Hackworth as well. Now, Chris wasn't too happy with his qualifying, but he's now up to 6th place using all that experience that he's got. I wouldn't count him out of this. He might start closing in.
Jordan Taylor's taken too much curb there on turn 3, I think.
Oh, Trundley's run wide. Trundley's run very wide, and Genman's pipped through into the lead. Genman back to the front.
They're following each other beautifully, aren't they? They're very well matched. And the thing is, I think the guy that gets to the front knows that the 4 guys behind are going to take advantage of any mistake. So that's naturally going to lead to them being slightly defensive. Hence, I'm saying no one has managed to pull away when they've got that lead.
Look out for Joe Ellis as well, a 42.585 he's just put in. Fastest lap of the race so far. He's in 9th place. Has changed for the lead again. And through goes Jordan Taylor. Bobby Trundley follows him. And Genman goes back on the inside. There's contact. There's a spin. Bobby Trundley's run wide. There's a whole load of finger wagging there.
He's
but
furious.
That was Owen Genman up the inside into hairpin 1, making contact with Bobby Trundley and Jordan Taylor. Well, the drivers are not going to be too happy about that one.
I think Trundley might not be happy, but when he looks at the replay, actually, he was saved from spinning with the second contact. So the second contact is all that stopped him facing backwards. I think it's an incident they're all going to rush to the YouTube channel to go and see who was at fault there into that first hairpin, because Genman, he was aggressive, but the problem was, I don't think Trundley had anywhere to go on the right-hand side, and he ended up just catching and spinning him.
Behind these two now.
It's a change for third place.
Yeah, Ed White is through. Ed White has pounced, and he's taken both Genman and Chris Alcock there. Brilliant move into hairpin 1.
Told you. That's what he does.
And now Chris Alcock trying to push Ed White along. That might not be a bad idea at this stage of the race.
Just before that move, we saw that Chris Alcock was losing pace on the top 2. I think that's why Ed White would have wanted to give that the hurry up.
Lead is 1.6 seconds, and it's changed for third as Alcock has gone back past Ed White there for third place.
I'd keep an eye out for Ed White here into the hairpin when they get around there, because I think he's lining him up for a move. Very aggressive up behind him, and he's definitely eyeing up that inside. Is he going to make it? I think he's going to. He's gone for it. That's a great move.
Very clean, very, very clinical. Ed White through and into third place.
You could see that 4 corners out. What a move.
And battle for fourth place. Down the back straight into pylon. Alcock and Genman side by side. Genman's going to try and go round the outside into pylon. I think he's got it. I think he's got the move. A fantastic move there from Genman off hairpin 2. Got alongside, stuck it round the outside and up to fourth place. Both in the mid 42s. Third place is Ed White. First appearance for him this season. Having a very good run there in the 46 cart, just making his way through some more of the traffic in that robust fashion.
Well, the back marker's just you know, making a gesture with his hands, but really he should have been out of the way.
Chance for fourth. Chance for fourth. As look at this, Genman's been blocked by some of the traffic, and my goodness me, Alcock's trying to go round the outside. That was a really, really good piece of driving from both drivers. In fact, all three. They went round the back marker either side, and Genman somehow held on to that fourth place.
Are you sure that wasn't Mika Hakkinen there?
Yeah, that was very, very Spa 2000-like from both drivers. The only thing was Alcock didn't get the move done. Bobby Trundley, fastest lap of the race. He's responding to Jordan Taylor's upkeep of the pace. So Bobby Trundley into the 42.314 bracket now. And I think there's been a change there, yes. Has Alcock got past through Genman? Yes, he has. Alcock is through. Oh, it's contact towards the back, and that's involving Genman. Genman is off. And back on the circuit now. And it's allowed Chris Hackworth through. Bobby Trundley turning the wick up again. The lead back out to 3 seconds after 70 laps gone.
Oh, and Ellis is making a move on Alcock. Alcock is not happy. Ellis not quite close enough to make a lunge into the first hairpin, but he might be tempted to have a move on the outside. And I think Alcock needs to concentrate on what's going on behind him.
He does. And he's going to be alongside into the corner now. This is pylon corner.
His hands.
I don't know whether he wants Joe Ellis to get on with it. I would, to be honest, right now, if I was Chris Alcock, I want to hold on to this position instead of.
I think he's angry at the back marker at the moment, where really he needs to be worrying about fourth place.
It's Curtis Mitchell, the 27, that he's trying to get past. Oh, contact there with that's Ed White with one of the back markers. The back markers also are trying to start fighting amongst their own. I'm wondering, is this over position? Yes, this is over position. So you've got drivers on their lead lap fighting over position, with drivers a lap down also fighting over position.
I have been watching Ed cutting through the traffic, and he hasn't been shy with the back markers at all. He's definitely wanted to get on with it. I mean, in his defence, maybe the back markers could have given him a bit more room, but he hasn't been shy of making contact. He knows Chris Alcock is right behind him. If he stutters overtaking a back marker, he's going to lose that podium.
Alcock and Ellis trying to fight their way through as well. Ellis looking for the opportunity, goes to the inside.
Alcock shut the door.
These two back markers also still getting involved. Alcock's got a good run up the inside of both back markers. He needs to make his way through. Oh, there's a bit of contact with one of those back markers as well. That back marker jumps out the way. Genman's still there as well. Look out for Genman in 6th place. And all of a sudden, we've got a bit of a sprint race going on here. 8 minutes to go of the hour-long race.
Remember when I said when there was no back markers, this was going to be a fierce battle? Well, that's what we've got now. There's no traffic between these guys fighting for the podium.
And side by side through Stadium, Ellis fighting. Alcock goes defensive into hairpin 1. Will Ellis get the cutback? Here they're side by side. They're going to have the run into hairpin 2. Alcock will have the inside line. Can Ellis come back? There's a bit of pod-to-pod rubbing. Alcock and Ellis still side by side into pylon corner. I think Ellis is going to get this. Yes, through goes Joe Ellis into 4th place. Now, can he set about Ed White?
He's lost a bit of momentum, but you'll get away with it through that slow section. I think he's managed to get enough pace down the back straight. He's got his head down. He's going to get that extra bit of aero going down the back straight.
Crucial couple of laps this for Ed White. He's now got Joe Ellis charging up behind him. The 33 is a back marker. That's Phil Senior in between White and Ellis. Ellis needs to dispatch of the back marker as soon as possible, preferably.
And I think this is where Ed White, if he takes this podium, this is where he's earned it. Fighting through that traffic, he has been brutal. He's put his car in a place where the back marker has no choice but to touch him or get out of the way. And if he hadn't have done, I think he'd have been swamped by now. 3rd
place. Now really, really hotting up as Ed White trying to get through some of this traffic again. And look at this, 4th place. There's going to be a change again. Genman's also up the inside, and Joe Ellis is going to lose 2 positions here, possibly.
No, I think he's going to hold one of them. Yeah, he's going to hold one of them. He's going to hold off Genman. But yeah, I think he's not been as decisive through the traffic as Ed White has been, even though he's been faster.
5 minutes to go. 4 drivers, 1 podium spot. Who is going to take it? Alcock goes to the inside of another one of the back markers. Alcock and Ellis both trying to follow each other through, trying to chase down Ed White, who has got a bit of a gap now. Ellis goes to the inside, or has half a look.
He's got to be careful, though, because he knows he's going to lose out to the guys behind if it doesn't go right.
Genman might have a little look into hairpin 2. No, nothing going there. Side by side off hairpin 2. This is going to be another case of drivers side by side into pylon. Joe Ellis is going to have to go the long way round. Bit of contact and he's through. Great move that by Joe Ellis. But no, Alcock's going to fight back into the final corner. Alcock has the inside line. This is fantastic racing. Genman's now going to get the run down the start-finish straight. And in the end, Alcock from Ellis from Genman again. This is brilliant.
That's breathtaking. What amazing racing.
Through Stadium. Side by side through Stadium. And Ellis retakes the position. Alcock and Genman still fighting there as well.
Curtis Mitchell being lapped has the best seat in the house. I hope he's got a GoPro on so we can get that footage back. He has had a prime seat.
Incident at hairpin 1. James Perry is involved, and I think he's going to lose positions here to Tom Wantock. Yes, he is. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd still raging on. One of the back markers gets pushed out a little bit wider. That's the number 31 of Andy Stobart. He's had an interesting day so far, but it's still Ellis ahead of Alcock. However, this is all good for Ed White because he's now 2.5 seconds down the road.
Yeah, and somehow Genman's been the loser out of all of that, and he's found himself a little bit off in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place. But he has struggled getting past that little bit of traffic, and he's lost about 10 kart lengths now. And it's a shame because I think what I've seen in this race, you want him up in the mix because if there's a move on, he'll make it.
Now it's just about holding on to this 4th place, and with 2 drivers here in contention for the championship as well, could be very, very important come the end of the year. Alcock and Genman. Again, Ellis gets a really good run off hairpin, off turn 3. Means it's very, very hard to attack him into both hairpin 1 and hairpin 2.
How long have we got left?
Leader coming round. There'll be this lap plus 1 more, I reckon.
I've just got
we're on the final lap. With the final lap board is out.
I can't see how Genman's going to do anything. He's so close. He's managed to bridge that gap, but obviously run out of time now. I think so. This lap here, and then 1 more. It's got to be now or never into turn 4 for Genman. I kind of fancy him still to make a move into this first hairpin.
Well, you keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on our leader as well. Bobby Trundley is going to win yet again in the Inter Enduros. Coming up to the final corner now. What a drive, what a comeback. Bobby Trundley takes round 3 of the Daytona DMAX Inter Enduros for 2018. A big statement in the championship. Jordan Taylor is going to finish in second place. Was pretty much the only driver who had any chance of holding a flame to Bobby Trundley today, put him under a lot of pressure. Bobby had to dig deep, but who's going to take third? It looks like Ed White's going to take third. A brilliant result, and Joe Ellis takes fourth. He holds off Chris Alcock and Owen Genman for 5th and 6th. Chris Hackworth is 7th, so in that case it's been a very, very good day for Bobby Trundley. 8th place for Sam Bennett, 9th place for Andy Spencer, 10th will be Mike Coppin. Good points for Mike. 11th will be Anthony Kirk, 12th will be Gus Silveira, 13th for Simon Ross, 14th for Curtis Mitchell, 15th for Dean Walker, 16th for Tom Wantock, 17th for Martin Bork, 18th for Andy Stobart, 19th Seb Cook, 20th Phil Senior, 21st Lee Carey, 22nd for James Wattis, 23rd for David Glover, 24th for Ross Blackwood, 25th for Leo Stolyarov, 26th James Browning, 27th John Donnelly, 28th was Nigel Foot, 29th for James Perry, who I think might be a little bit disappointed with that. Not a good day for James. 30th for Stuart Sherman, and 31st for Tony LaCastro.
So speaking to the third place driver there, we have Ed White. Ed, the difference today seemed to be that you could get through that traffic faster than the guys behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. Making a lot of pretty harsh moves, but you know, yeah, no, it's good.
Decisive action though. Did you feel the pressure from those guys chasing up from 4th, 5th and 6th?
Yeah, I knew the front two were way too quick. They sort of left us as soon as we broke the toe. But yeah, Andy on the radio was telling me sort of each lap they were sort of closing, and traffic was, you know, making the gap bigger. But no, yeah, managed to hold it in the end.
Was that the result you expected from 5th place?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot closer in qualifying with like a 10th between the top 5. I thought it'd be a battle for the lead the whole way through, but yeah, these guys just turned it on and left us in the dust.
Fantastic, thank you, Ed. Let's talk to somebody more my height. Jordan, I don't have to look up so far. A game of chess out there today?
Yeah, absolutely. Tip and toe and just keeping Bobby honest, really. So it's good fun.
Did you have anyone on the team wall telling you the gaps, or were you just pushing as hard as you could to try and get up to him?
Yeah, I had my dad just keeping an eye on lap times and seeing how my performance is and just giving us a good push just to keep going.
Anything more you could have done?
I don't think so. We did break away bit by bit, so I was happy to finish second, really. So.
Well done, second place. Thank you, Jordan Taylor. Let's catch up with our race winner, Bobby Trundley. Now, that really was a game of chess out there. You don't always have to be smashing into people, diving down the inside. This was trading laps. This was proper, real hard racing.
Exactly. I mean, credit to everyone. It was great racing throughout the field. I mean, we saw the gap, went for it. I mean, Owen made a decisive move, going into the hairpin, but accidents happen, and I picked up the pieces and I just had to work on building the gap, which near the end of the race I extended it. So Jordan kept me honest, and it's just been a great race, really. So.
When you've got a big incident and you know you've got 45 minutes to go, how hard is it to get your head together? Is that coming from the pit wall telling you to be calm?
Well, I didn't have a radio on, so my dad was just pointing, just go. But yeah, it's hard without a radio, obviously, because you don't know what's going on around you. But what I knew was I had a gap, time to try and build it. But obviously Jordan's a quick driver, everyone else was really keeping me honest, but through the back markers I think I managed to edge him out a little bit.
That race looked absolutely exhausting. Thank you very much. Our race winner, Bobby Trundley, thank you very much. Andrew, that was absolutely non-stop action, and right at the front this time.
Absolutely. I mean, the Inters, for me, in the Enduros at least, turning out to be the class of the year so far, because it is so close. Today, we've seen Bobby come to the fore. For me, the critical period of the race was with about 10 minutes to go. There were 3 or 4 laps in a row where Bobby just went bang, 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 and pulled out a second and a half, at which point, I give Jordan all the credit in the world. He didn't really have the chance to pull that back in because he needed something else to happen to Bobby up ahead. So for me, that was the critical point of the race, which gave Bobby the win. it really is a stamp of intent for Bobby as well. Everybody's trying to beat him, obviously he's the reigning champion, but that was, for me, one of Bobby's best drives, I think. Was it one of the most spectacular? No, it didn't need to be though, because he got to the front and just did that thing that he's so good at, maintain the gap and take the win. Really, really good stuff.
A special mention for the guys who actually, with their amazing battle, robbed themselves of a chance over the podium.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things. I think they again would have needed some back markers to come into play to catch Ed White. I think Ed would have had enough to hold him off anyway, but still really good battle, really clean battle. It's good to see. It's just what I want to see in Daytona DMAX.
Waiting for round 4. This is a battle to watch.